You like cruising, or better yet, playing roulette? Well, you're in the right place. Let's talk about a free cruise. Okay, so you watch all these videos and they talk about going on a cruise and playing in a casino and winning a free cruise and give you all these strategies and everything. Well, let's talk about it just a little bit, because there's some details about winning the free cruise that maybe you need to know. Maybe you know it already. And if you have any information you would like to share with anybody, then add it to the comments. If there's something I mess up that I tell you, then by all means, let me know in the comments. So when you go on the cruise, my goal when I go is I'm going to try to play with as little money as possible and try to lose as little money as possible, but earn enough points to earn a free cruise. And sometimes my strategies work, sometimes they don't. But I normally earn enough points to, kind of get towards the free cruise. So when you go into the cruise ship, you walk into the casino, and there's a casino host desk. If you just walk around in there, believe me, you'll find it. There'll be a desk by itself with a computer screen. There'll be a couple little papers and some plastic holders there, a chair, and there's usually somebody sitting there, especially when the casino is open. There's somebody always manning that station. And it's not the cashier, so it's something completely different. It's kind of out in the middle of the casino, so good, just walk around and you'll find it, believe me. But when you go over there, you'll see that they have some papers stood up in some plastic holders. So one of them will look like this, and I'll put a little closer so you can see it. But on this paper, you will see that it kind of goes through how many points you need to earn a free cruise. Okay, so it goes from 400 points to 6, 8, 1,200, all the way up to 70,000 points. Okay, so every cruise, these sheets are just a little bit different. I mean, some of them would be 25,000 will be at the top. This one's 70,000. And it's kind of determined on how many nights the cruise that you're on, how many nights there is on that cruise. Okay, so if you're on like a 3-night cruise, they don't expect you to get 70,000 points on a 3-night cruise. But if you're on a 9 or 10 night or 15 or 14, whatever, they do expect you to probably get a lot of points. Okay, so that list may be different every cruise, but it's just kind of give you a ballpark of kind of what you're looking for, and it gives you a goal to go for. So you say, well, I'm going to get a free cruise if I get 800 points. So you kind of determine your strategy to say, I'm going to try to get 800 points. I've got 4 nights to do it, so I need to get about 200 points a night to reach 800 points, because you have to get the 800 points minimum, okay, before they close on the last night of the cruising. And usually they go until like 2:30 in the morning, most cases. So anyway, just kind of let you know about that. Okay, so once you see the points list, then you'll see this list. So it'll be some stuff that's got some QR codes on it, and you can see them here. I'll try to get them a little closer so you can see them. But that's 2 different lists. So it's according to what cruise you're on. If it's anything with 6 nights or more, there'll be one list on that particular cruise ship. If it's less than 5 nights or less, that'll be a separate list. Okay. So when you get onto the cruise ship, you go to that casino host desk. If you're on a 3-night cruise, then it'll have the shorter list. So it'll break it down as to the 800 point list, the 1,200 point, because each one has their own separate list. Okay, so if you say, I'm going to shoot for 800 points, and then you go over to it, there's a QR code. You take your phone over there, you scan the QR code. When you scan it, it opens up to a site which actually has a list of cruises that's available at that 800 point. Now it's going to be a small list. It's never a lot of cruises on that 800 point list, okay? But, you just kind of look at it and say, well, okay, I see one of these dates on here. It's one that I can work with, and it's out of a port that I like. So this is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for 800 points. You may look at it and go like, oh man, 800 don't have anything that I could use. So then you could look at the 1,200 point list. So you scan the QR code for the 1,200 points. It opens up the list. It'll be a little bigger. I won't say it's twice as big, but probably close to twice as big as the 800 point list. Be a lot more dates on there. A lot more ports will be available. So then you kind of look through that list, and if you see anything that you would like on that list, then that's the point total you want to go for that particular, on that cruise, okay? And again, if the 1,200 point list don't satisfy what you were looking for, then you can scan the 1,500 point, the 2,000. And so you just kind of scan these lists and look to see if there's anything that you want to work toward. Okay, so it gives you a goal. And so if what you want to go on, like my wife and I were wanting to go on an Alaskan cruise, right? And so this cruise that we're going on, I have 9 nights, but in order to go on the Alaskan cruise, the only list that it shows up on is the 2,000 point list. So I have to reach 2,000 points to be able to get that Alaskan cruise that we're wanting to get, okay? So if we don't win it there, then we'll have to, book it, and then I'll talk about that later. But anyway, so we have to go for 2,000 points on that cruise. So it's 9 nights, so I have to figure out, okay, how many points would I have to get over 9 nights? So that's, 200, 250 points a night, give or take, okay? So that's very manageable on 9 nights, okay? So anyway, so that's kind of how you work the list. You just have to scan them, see if there's anything on that list you want. Scan the next one if there's anything there. If not, just keep moving up. And, just kind of, what you got. And that's for on that cruise now. So these points that you're earning are for that cruise that you're on. That's what these lists are for. That's the only way you get access to that list, is earning enough points to get access to it, okay? So the other thing about the free cruises is, let's say you go on a cruise and you say, I'm going to go for the 800. Well, things fall apart and you don't get 800 points. You wind up with like 600, 650 points, okay? So you're short. You don't win a free cruise, okay? But this is where I really like their setup, is they have a website where you can go log into it. It's CasinoRoyaleOffers.com. Okay, I'll put the link in the description, so you can click on it, go in there, and all you have to do is open it up, and you place your last name and then your reward number, which is your Crown and Anchor number. Okay, so I'll put this up here so you can see it. So once you earn enough points, once you get over 600 points, give or take, and that's over the course of a year. So from April 1st to the end of March, that's the 12-month period where if you earn enough points, you'll start getting offers like this. So if you go on one cruise, you get 600 points, all of a sudden you're starting to get offers, okay? They're not the best offers in the world, okay? But they are to where you can start receiving the free cruises that everybody talks about. I'm on a free cruise, okay? Most people are probably using this system, not necessarily the cruise certificates you win on the cruise itself. So myself, I rarely earn enough points to get a cruise certificate. I've earned a couple of them, but not a lot, okay? So most of my stuff is through the offers, okay? So you open it up, you look at it, and it, like when I log in, I see mine, I'm sitting at like 2,200 points. I'm about 300 points short of Prime. So my next cruise will be 9 nights, so I'll definitely make Prime on the first night or two on that cruise, okay? So, but anyway, so when you open it up, there'll be a list of offers. They'll each have their own offer code, and each offer is different. They, like the first one here, I'm just going to say it's an interior guarantee. And I don't have a lot of points, so I'm not getting a like balcony or suite or anything like that. I'm really low, so I'm working my way up, but that's how it goes. And then I have a guaranteed interior. I have just an interior offer, ocean view guarantee offer, interior offer, ocean view, and interior guarantee. All right, so we have all these offers, and it's got expiration dates, so you have to really pay attention to that. But over on the right-hand side, you'll see it says View Itinerary. If you click on View Itinerary, it will pull up a list of cruises. Kind of like what I said about the 800 point and the QR code scan. When you open this itinerary up, it'll give a list of cruises, ports, ships and dates that are available that you can pick from. And it's usually a double occupancy room. So it'd be myself and whoever I want to come along with me. So it could be my wife. I took my daughter on one time. So it doesn't have to be anyone that's casino playing age that goes with you. So I booked one for myself, and then I took my daughter on one with me. Okay, so, and she's of course not old enough to play in a casino. But anyway, so you open up the itinerary and you look at the ports. You know, you kind of say, well, I live in Florida. So I look at them and I'm like, Port Canaveral, Tampa, that's kind of the closest two ports for me. But I can go to Fort Lauderdale, Miami. It's just a longer drive, so I don't really like to go for like a 3-night if I'm going to drive 6 hours, you know, to get to the port. And so, you know, so I just look at the offers, see what's available, check my time, what I have for vacation wise, if I can take off for the weekend, things like that. So that's a lot of where everybody gets their free cruises. Whenever they talk about Royal and the free cruises, this is where it's happening. Okay, and that's what I like about the system is you go on a couple of cruises, you earn just enough points to start receiving offers, and before you know it, you can easily go on 6, 8, 10 cruises a year just going by the offers. So I'm not retired. I would cruise more, but I'm not retired. So I have to work Monday through Friday like most people do. So I just make use of these offers. I usually take like a 4-night or a 5-night that's mostly is covering over a weekend or something like that. So it's just a couple of days off work. I can handle that. Okay, so that is some information for you guys. And when you book it through here, it's really just your port fees, your taxes. Okay, so it's like a couple $100, and then you'll have to pay your gratuities. You know, so you have the port fees, the taxes, and gratuities. And so, like my wife and I are going on this 9-night, and we've got about, I'd say about $350 total into it. So just kind of, you know, see how it goes. You know, earn your points. Go on this website, check them, and see how it goes. And that's how you you receive your free cruise with Royal Caribbean. And you know, good luck on your cruising and get your points. And another thing, you know, so when you're playing, I had a friend of mine just got off a cruise, and when I asked her how many points she had received, and you know, she really wasn't checking that much while she's on the cruise. She's just kind of playing and whatever. Well, she gets off the cruise and she had only earned like 400 points, and I'm like, you should have earned more than that. It was based on what she was playing and how she was playing and that she described to me, right? But for some reason, she didn't earn enough points to start receiving offers. And so really pay attention when you're on the ship. I'm not saying annoy the pit boss, okay? But it doesn't hurt every once in a while when he comes by to ask him, hey, what do you have my average at? Okay? They know you need to know how many points so that you can get a free cruise, okay? They're wanting you to get a free cruise just as much as you want to get a free cruise. But sometimes they are a little difficult to keep up with your average because they're not sitting at the table with you all the time. They make their lap through the pit. They'll hit the roulette table, the blackjack, craps table, blackjack, Texas Hold'em. You know, they'll make their lap. And so when they come by your table and you see them counting or whatever they're doing, they're usually walking around with an iPad of some kind. And so just ask them, hey, what do you have my average at? And if you're playing a strategy that is, you know, $24 or it's $40 or whatever it is, and he says he has you at $12, well, then you might want to get him to, you know, recount and just make sure he knows. And I play my strategies, and after a few times of me asking them and them seeing what I've got, every time I sit at the table, they know to put me at what my average is every single time. So normally, whatever strategy I'm playing, let's say they put my average at 40. If I get them at 40 a couple of times, then they know every time I sit down to play, they have my average at 40 every single time I ask them. So just kind of keep up with it, know how many points you're getting. And in order to check your points, it's easy enough on most of the ships. I can't say it's all of them, but most of them have gotten to where now you take your CPass card, and after you get through playing, let's say you played a session of roulette, you cash out, you go to the cashier, get your cash back, whatever. Give it about 15 minutes, and then you go over to a slot machine. You go to the slot machine, you put your card in, you wait a few minutes, it'll recognize, or a couple seconds or whatever, it'll recognize your card, it'll come up, and it'll tell you how many points you currently have. So I typically will go check at the slot machine, see how many points I have. Let's say I check it and it's 250 points. I go sit down and I play for an hour. I cash out. I wait 15 minutes or so, slot it, then I should be at 350, 400 points based on the strategies that I'm playing. So if I'm not, then I'm like, well, you know, obviously they didn't have my average right. And even if you go talk to the pit boss, they rarely will change your points. Okay, so yeah, they have to change them while you're playing. Okay, so just keep up with it. And just make sure they're giving you the right average, or you won't receive enough points to receive the free cruise offers, and if for that particular selling, or the offers through the website. So again, check the description. I'll put the link in there for the Casino Royale offers, and give it a try, see how it goes, and be sure to like and subscribe. 35 to 1 Roulette Cruising. See ya.